Hey guys, it's Darcy here today, and what I wanted to give you was a breakdown of a song that I mixed and mastered for a gentleman named Jeremy Voltz. This song is not really a hip hop and R&B song. It's more of, as I guess he described it, as a digital song. He was part of a digital challenge. It's a song that I feel has a very Seal-like quality to the way that it was the composed, but also just his voice. I ended up going to a songwriter meetup where I heard this song, and I loved the song immediately, but also heard places for improvement. So I reached out to him and said, hey, look, I really want to mix this song for you and add a little bit more. Just so you guys know, as you can probably tell by the waveforms, one is obviously louder than the other. What I've done is I've added a simple like wall limiter to push the volume up, and then I also level matched them by checking the loudness meter and the RMS, just to make sure these things are fairly equal. So a couple things I want to highlight before you hear the two versions. What I felt with the original version is that the drums needed a little bit of work. They were missing some of the low end feel to them. The bass was missing some of that low end feel, and not that it's trying to be hip hop, but that it was missing some emotion that it would drive when you listen to the song. Additionally, the drums were just on a repetitive loop throughout the whole song, and I felt that, bringing them in here and there would make a huge difference in terms of how you perceive the song and the emotions throughout certain parts, so the lyrics would come through. And as I started to mix the song, I started to notice that there were vocal qualities that were just being left on the cutting room floor, and we could bring back and do a lot with. So let me first switch over to the pre-mixed one so you can hear a little bit of this. I'll probably play some of the intro and then switch over, and then I'm going to show you different parts. So let's play a little bit of this first.
Everybody finds a way to a hospital.
Alright, so that's a little bit of from the intro of it, and let's listen to the mix and master version. Notice how the drums will come in a little bit differently, and when the bass comes in, there's a little bit more warmth that comes out of it. Alright, so a couple other things I noticed I forgot to mention. So one, the snares in the original had a nice echo, like trailing off reverb, and through a few mixes that we did, we found this nicer blend where it had the same kind of idea, but it was just a little more pronounced, so you could just feel that snare a bit more. Additionally, one thing that was done with this I really loved was using delays on the voice, doing a longer delay that basically repeated the vocals in any large open space, and I separated them, making them very wide. So his voice would come through, it's fairly centered, it's a fairly wide voice, but it's not like completely wide. And then when the delay would come in with like reverb and delay, it would just spread out like the full width of the audio spectrum, just to kind of feel like it was hitting every wall in a large cathedral, and just like all-encompassing, surrounding you, so you could really feel what he was saying. Let me show a couple more parts. I'm going to show a part in the middle here, where there's some music drop, and then it comes back in and it kind of speeds up, and then I'm going to show you my favorite, most dramatic part.
And I know it's never gonna be
So a couple things I noticed in this part. One, the fact that the drums just play right through the whole thing, you don't really get to feel the impact of those quick sung lyrics. Additionally, I felt that the mix in this area is just very muddy. Like you really can't get a distinct feeling for anything. I feel like you're trying to listen over some static to try to, really hear what you're trying to hear. It's just not as impactful. So let's listen to the mix and master version of this. Yeah, so one of the things I loved about this is it played the drums into it, and then just before he goes to speed, you have a couple kick drums, it cuts on the snare, and then you just really get to hear the impact of what he says. Additionally, the vocals are clearer, they're just blending together better, and additionally, when I want to say the sweeping synth comes in and starts swelling over, it's just more controlled. There's compression there, there's better EQ, and so it's allowing for you to hear it and feel it, but it's not just like a big wave that crashes over everything and destroys the rest of the sound. And again, that delay on the vocals, it just kind of washes into the background, adds a nice texture. It's just enough for you to hear it, but not so much that it takes away from the instruments. It just kind of I don't know, mixes together nicely in a way that I like. So let's switch back to the pre-mastered here, and then we're going to play from about this point, maybe a slight bit before this. About around this point, the drums are going to come out, and then you're going to get some more singing without the rhythm section, and the rhythm section will come in and out, and then just build to a part that I like. Sorry, that's on the mix version. On the pre-mix version, it's going to be consistent drums all the way through, and you'll see the difference between the two. So let's just run this right now.
Everybody finds a way to a hospital, for good or for bad, young, dead or old man. Everybody finds a way to a hospital. I am a visitor.
Man, I just love the performance in this area, regardless of the version. I always get caught up by the voice. So that was the premix version. Now, with those drums going consistently, you lose a lot of the impact. Being sparse with your drums, especially in a song like this, can be very impactful. So let's play the mix and master version so you can see that difference. All right, let's go.
A way to a hospital, for good or for bad, young, dead or old man. Everybody finds a way to a hospital. I am a visitor.
I just have a hard time stopping it. The song captures me every time. I love it. So yeah, just one, the drums are cleaner mixed. The hi-hats are more controlled, but they're more distinct. You can really hear them in their own space because there's a different reverb applied to the drums, and they're thickened up, they're cleaned up. Overall, obviously, I'm in preference to the mixed and mastered version because I worked on it, but it wasn't just, approaching it from, I'm just going to purely mix it. I was listening to a song and saying, look, I think that we can do a lot more if we, bring the bass in and out here and there, if we, doing this and that with the drums. I can't remember if I actually played the bass in this myself for him. But anyways, regardless, I just brought a little bit to the table in terms of production to ensure that this song I thought could go to its full potential. Overall, hope you enjoyed this. Give you an example of what a song can be from where it starts when you have a second ear who helps mix it and also looks at the production of it, and then helps guide some of that where you may need it or not. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and have yourselves a good day. Peace.